Hey guys, so we got a little different type of engine this time. This is a 7 horsepower Briggs. It's IC, so it's got the cast iron sleeve in it. And this is exactly the way it got it. It's all in pieces. The carburetor hanging off. We'll have to find the air breather for it. I'll probably change the muffler out. But this is electric start. Here's the flywheel for it. This is a less common engine due to that, and it's probably on a tractor, judging by this base that's on it, which will be coming off for testing purposes. It does have a tank built in on it. Desperate need of fuel line. If I remember, the tank is oh yeah, it looks new inside. You can see it there. But it needs completely rebuilt, as far as I know. I never heard it run. It's got a lot of play in the rod, supposedly. So hopefully we can just replace the rod, throw some new rings in, own the cylinder, and reseat the valves and all that good stuff. We'll try to make this video as short as possible for a change. We're not going to do a complete step-by-step rebuild. I do have several other videos on my channel for that. We're going to do like possibly a time lapse of tearing it down. I did take the cylinder head off last summer. This will be kind of a special video in a way. This will be the first engine that was rebuilt in the new garage. And take a look at some of the parts that we got. Got a new old stock connecting rod because it takes a different one than an 8 horsepower. I will say this real quick. The block is identical to an 8 horsepower Model 19. This is a Model 17. Not sure of the year. The numbers are missing on the cover. But you can, it's a shorter stroke. It's the same bore. And you can actually put an 8 horsepower crank in this and rod and make it a 8 horsepower Model 19. So this is just a shorter stroke. That's the only difference. It does have a stator on it too. So as I was saying, a new old stock rod. There's the part number for Model 17 connecting rod. Good luck finding that. Standard 8 horsepower piston will fit it. Get the rings with it. This is another set of rings I ordered separately. New coil for it, aftermarket type. Starter clutch. I just picked up a new one because it's obviously missing, and you know that needs cleaned up big time. Carburetor kit. We might put an aftermarket carburetor on it. A gasket set, same as an 8 horsepower. There's going to be a clip of it being tore down, and time lapse, everything going real quick. Then we're going to stop and look at everything after I clean up the block and everything off camera, see what the problems are, and there'll be another time-lapse video putting it back together. So that's kind of want to do something a little different. Let me know what y'all think. I'm just trying to keep from boring you with a long video. I don't even know if this engine's got any oil. It does not appear to have any. If it does, it's very little. But I got this along with a bunch of other engines last year or the year before, and just never have done nothing with it. Let's get started on it. Okay, sorry to interrupt the time lapse of the teardown, but I had to point out a couple of things. Took the drain plug out and it was full of water. Barely any oil, if any, is in it. But then I seen this bolt laying right there in the crankcase. You see how slimy everything is with the water mixed in with it. But it's one of the rod bolts. So pretty much all the play that was in it just because one of the rod bolts is missing and the other one's loose. And chances are the rod probably ain't no good because of that. And we got a new rod anyway, so we'll be putting one in it anyway. The engine wouldn't have lasted much longer, and it is a dual bearing crank. See, there's ball bearings on both sides, so it is a heavy duty engine. This does have a cast iron sleeve too. Here's what the cylinder looks like. Very minor scratches. Okay, as you've seen from the time-lapse video, we got the valves lapped in. They turned out really good. This must be a low hours engine because I checked the ring gap with the old ring and it's only like at 10,000, and with the new rings it's right at 5. So I honed the cylinder. There's a couple of real light scores that you can't feel with your fingernails, so they're real light, nothing to worry about. I can still see the factory home marks in the cylinder. So it's in really good shape. Just a low hours engine had a problem. Apparently the bolts weren't torqued, or the tabs weren't bent over right, or something at the factory, or somebody took it apart at some point and didn't put it back together right. I started not to replace the piston, but it's got some wear marks and it's kind of bad there in that one spot. So I just thought, play it safe, put a new piston, a new rod in it. You get these little washers that's got to go in between here. If you put it on the other way, you won't be able to bend these tabs over. This is going to be kind of hard to do anyway, the way this one's made. So I might actually have to take the dipper off. Oh, that's not, it don't have the bending plate. For some reason I was thinking it was built in on the dipper, so I got to take this part off and reuse it because the new rod does not come with that for some reason. Forgot about that. These are cast iron rings because this is a cast iron bore engine. These are chrome rings. You can see the difference. These are for use in an aluminum bore engine. You can use them in a cast iron bore, it just takes longer to break in. And these are just, what's used at the factory. Even though these do look like chrome rings for some reason on this. So this is a Briggs and Stratton connecting rod. It's an aftermarket. It's a new old stock one. There's a part number for model 17. And this is a model 19 rod. See the part number for it. As you can see, it's made different in the length. Okay guys, so like I said, I did most of it on the time lapse. It's all back together completely except for the air breather here, and it's missing, so I'll have to get that off another engine. I'm pretty sure I have an extra one. I didn't put the original muffler back on. I might put it back on just later on to see what it sounds like. Ran new fuel line to it, new fuel filter. Like I said, it's got a new piston, new rings, new rod, reseated the valves, surfaced the head and block. Rebuilt the carburetor. It wasn't in too bad a shape. It didn't show none of that on the video. So now I'm getting ready to hook the jump start up to it. We're going to use the electric start on it and just get a kind of a test crank and spray some carburetor cleaner in there just to make sure it's going to idle. Then we'll put some gas in it. So my jump start's completely burned up now. Started giving off the rotten egg smell, so she's getting ready to blow. Been a good one, I can't complain. Okay, let's just try that one more time. My shoulder's hurting already. It hurt before I even started. Well, I didn't have to have them do it. All the hair off my arm. Alright guys, so it's a couple days later. This is not mine. This is my dad's newest jump start. He wanted to get one just to have an extra one. So I might end up picking up one of these if I like. I did do a test crank just to... We got good cranking now. So let me get it cranking over. We'll just do kind of a test start with a little bit of carburetor cleaner just to see if it'll hit, just to, you know, verify the timing and everything's right. Alright, we got fuel in it. Let's see what happens. Alright, so it took a little bit to get the carburetor tuned in, but I think I pretty much got it now. I'm going to start up again one more time just to let you hear it. Pretty much got to start with choke every time. You got to hold the throttle piece here, or the shut-off switch will get it. But once I got it tuned in, it seemed like it's running pretty good. There's no smoke at all. Smoke right at first just from the assembly oil on it, but it's not smoking at all when you throttle up. And if you choke it while trying, it just shoots black smoke out. So, you know, we got a good seal on the rings, and the valve guides are in good shape. Just for curiosity, let's put the original muffler on just to kind of hear what it sounds like. I never had one quite like this. I've seen these before, but let's just see what it sounds like, just for curiosity's sake. I'll probably leave this muffler on it just to keep the engine original. Let me swap that out and we'll see what it sounds like. So just a lot quieter, which I figured that. Them hot dog style mufflers are always noisier because they're just a small baffle in them. So, well guys, I'm going to conclude this video. Like I said, it's complete except for this air breather here, which I have it somewhere for it. So I just have to locate that. I like this being electric start. If I ever build a go-kart or something, it'll be ideal for that. And we can just get on it, start it up, and you're ready to go. Another thing I do want to point out, this has a 3/4 inch crankshaft, whereas most 8 horsepowers and stuff will have like a 7/8. So that's makes it a little more usable for like a centrifugal clutch or something. It's more common to find a 3/4 inch pulleys or anything than it is this bigger 7/8. So that'll make things a little simpler too. So, well guys, you got any questions, comments, or anything, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like this rebuild like it was a time lapse like that, well, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you'd rather see newer engines or anything, let me know, and we'll try to see what I can do with that. This one's just been sitting around for a long time. I knew it was in decent shape, so I wanted to get it done. So, well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.